Now I'd like to welcome Vaishali Neotia from Murxia Software in India.
Namaste. How many of you have tried the Oculus Rift demos at the back of the hall today? Quick show of hands. And have you considered virtual reality use cases beyond gaming? Let me help. 90% of companies have reported seeing an improvement in their worker performance when they're using augmented reality for maintenance. 48% of design companies have said that they've reduced the need to use physical prototypes when using virtual reality, and 9% stopped using them completely. GE says that 34% of their employees have been more efficient when they've used augmented reality for maintenance. So what is stopping all of us here from going back and using extended reality technologies to solve our business processes? When I say extended reality, I'm including augmented, mixed, and virtual. Now, this could probably be explained by a survey that PwC did. In a sample survey of engineering companies, they found that 83% of companies wanted to use XR to improve their business processes, but they either didn't know how to, or they did not want to spend time and money and effort in getting that done. Now imagine a world where businesses of any size can create their own XR content and make their top line higher, bottom line lower. The world is heading towards content creation. We've seen it with YouTube, we see it with WordPress for websites, and that's happening with XR. And that's where I come in. I am Vaishali Neotia, the co-founder and CEO of Murxia Software, India's leading extended reality company. We have worked over the years with these technologies solving real-world problems across sectors. And we found the opportunity to democratize the access to extended reality. By 2020, every year, 75 million AR/VR devices will be shipped globally. And those users will need a way to create quick content, fast and cheap. And we have done exactly that. We have created a software which will help you do this. It's called RED. RED is an extended reality authoring tool for non-coders. A non-coder can, in 3 steps, create their own XR. Import a 3D file, press publish, and see it across devices, from the Oculus Rift to the Microsoft HoloLens, iPad, Samsung Gear VR. And we're already doing paid pilots with people across sectors, from defense to aerospace to engineering, and we want to hit healthcare next, where doctors would be able to view your CT scans and diagnose better and faster using RED. And in terms of where we are looking at with the subscription model, we're doing $300 for professional users per year as an annual license fee, and $3,000 for enterprises. And we hope to get at least 3,000 customers by the end of next year on the professional user side, and another 24 on the enterprise side. And if any of you here want to understand how to use RED to improve your business efficiency, you can come and talk to me. I'm at the summit. If you believe in our vision to make RED the de facto standard for XR creation, please connect. I'll tell you where to put your time, money, and experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaishali. Judges?
Thanks, Vaishali. I was just wondering if you could take us through one case which you thought was the most interesting for you for the use of RED.
So we're actually working, one of the paid pilots is with the Indian Army, where they're using RED to create training modules for their employees, where they use RED to create a complete training scenario around the complex machines that they use. Now, we know that nobody uses manuals, right? When you get a manual, nobody wants to go through it. It's very difficult, takes time. If that entire manual could be visually displayed for me, and if I'm able to see everything labeled, the entire machine labeled, if I have to perform a particular operation, all of that is shown to me visually. There's like a Siri kind of guiding me through the whole thing. That makes things so much more efficient. And if you can do that without having to depend on an external developer, if you can do it in-house using something like RED, that's where the Army is seeing value, and they're using it for that. Thank you.
Can I build upon that? And could you discuss a little bit of your customer acquisition costs and why, in particular, you prioritize the particular segments that you mentioned, the defense and the aerospace, before going to medical?
So to be very honest, the scope of RED is sector agnostic. It's essentially a tool where we're saying you do whatever you want, you do it with your own content. Your 3D content could be a machine, it could be a CT scan, whatever. The reason we've started with defense, aerospace, and engineering is because these are the industries we've seen who have the money, who have already the need, and they have 3D data already available. So it made sense for us to approach them first. And sorry, what was the first part of your question?
The customer, it sounds like
customer
demonstrating the use capability would take a lot of effort on behalf of your team.
Right. So these initial pilots are only enterprise customers, and we're looking at doing individual sales, so getting about 2 per month. That's our aim. But where we are actually seeing the money and the volume is on the professional user side. That's going to be marketing heavy. And for that, we're looking at about 20 cents per customer acquisition. We're looking at about 1.5 million eyeballs next year. And a number of 3,000 paid users at the end of it. So freemium model for the first month, and then 3,000 paid users for the year, which would give us about $900,000 in the top line next year. That's what we're aiming for. Yeah.
That's really impressive. Can you just clarify a bit? You have a B2B model that you just spoke about, and you were mentioning in your presentation you have a B2C model as well, right? Could you elaborate on that a bit?
Sure. So B2B, like I mentioned, is specific use cases. So companies who want to create training, for example, or they have different teams across the globe, and they want people to coordinate between offices. So you can create a virtual space for people to do design reviews together. Okay. So that's a very enterprise use case. For the consumer angle, currently we are looking at professional users. So there will be people who are professionals. So for example, a doctor or a freelance designer or an architect. So going forward, it might become an open use case where consumers who have the hardware, be it an iPad or be it a Samsung Gear VR, I have the hardware to consume this, and I have 3D data to be able to generate an XR. So for example, I have my kid and I want to teach them the solar system. And so instead of giving it on a book or even a video, I put the child inside the solar system, and all I do as a mother is download a solar system model, 3D model, put it into the software, and put the kid in it. Right? So that's probably a later vision. But for now, it's enterprise and professional users who will still have the same
And
use
for the
cases.
professional users, you'll be providing training content for them on how to do that?
No, so we will obviously, we will have an FAQ and a small video to show them how to use it. But we've made the interface so simple, it's all plug and play, drag and drop, that we expect the user to only have expertise in terms of, I know how to use a computer, and that's it. That's all I need, and I can understand how to use the software.
Thank you, Vaishali.
Thank you.